Nah, don't worry. Don't even worry. I'm working myself up to get on an airplane, bro. I'm working myself up. I'm a long ways away, but I'm working myself up. Because I see everybody trying to leave. Y'all ain't finna leave me, man. Y'all not finna leave me. Granted, I ain't trying to move, but I do want to come visit y'all and see what it's like. I see everybody trying to move. But anyway, we're going to get to all of that craziness. Y'all know how this goes. Question everything. You should. And remember, this is for entertainment purposes only. Let's check it out.
Why did you move out the country? Why did you move out the country, gang? I'm financially free. Ain't that what we all strive to be? Ain't that what we all want is to be financially free? I don't have to have a car no more. I don't have to pay car insurance. I don't have to have all these big overhead bills. My water bill, $3. My electricity bill, $23. My rent is $700. I'm on the 20th floor. I'm on the 20th floor, and I got a house clipper that come and clean my crib every Wednesday. Y'all be saying all these other stuff, bro. I am free. I don't have to worry about the way I dress. I don't have to buy designer clothes. I don't have to look a certain way because I'm not in America. That's all American-based. We all think about materialistic things. We all buying Jordans and clothes and shoes and having all this stuff just to impress other people that don't even know us. Here, I can wear a flip-flops. I can wear a muscle shirt and nobody gonna judge me. I can get dropped off in the club with a scooter. I can ride a scooter for $2. I don't have to have a car. I can it ain't no money in America to where the point, bro, people is literally waiting to pay their rent on December the 5th or November the 5th. They waiting to the last minute because we ain't no money cash flowing like that, bro. People don't have it no more. People don't have it no more, bro. Going to the grocery store, you can save money, bro. You can't even save money. You pick up 6 items, you already at $268. Like, people don't got it no more, bro. People only paying enough for what they can pay for. That's why Black Friday didn't do good. Nobody buying 68, 80-inch TVs no more because people don't have it. People are really paying for the stuff that really matter, and that's a roof over their head and a car to drive to work. People don't got money to be fucking off no more. I moved out the country to better my life. I came out here by myself to experience the world and see what the world got to offer. And America be telling us, oh, this is a third world country. They poor. They don't have this. They don't have that. Man, these people got everything. They got iPhones, Netflix, Hulu, shoes, Jordan's clothes. Stop letting America just tell y'all everything. I moved out the country because it's cheap. Because it is cheap. Yes, I moved out the country because it is cheap. I don't have to worry about every single day working a job, going to pay bills. I use this check just to pay this light bill and this water bill. Then I'm having to use this check just to pay this rent. Then I'm having to use this check just to pay for just a speeding ticket or just other things. Like, yes, I came out the country to Thailand because it is cheap. You know what I'm saying? I don't have to worry about saving this check to pay this bill, saving this check to pay this bill. I don't have to worry about going broke off of paying bills or working just to pay bills. Yes, I moved out the country because it's cheap. And when I moved out the country, I realized this was the best place to ever move in. The food is good. The people are nice. We got clubs. We got bars. We got mega malls. Everything, the amenities that I have, everything in America is right here. My phone bill is $14. Yes, I moved out here because it is cheap.
Hey. Oh, he made me feel this small. I ain't even gonna lie to you, bro. I kind of feel, yeah. Now, it's crazy that we gotta move out the country to live like that. You know what I mean? Like, for some people, you don't have to have the designer and all that kind of stuff like that, bro. If you get out of that lane and not buy all that designer stuff and stuff like that, you could live pretty decent here. Decent, not like over there, like that. You know what I mean? And he hit the nail on the head with the food. The food is probably better taste wise. I see a lot of countries, I don't know about specifically where he's at, but I see a lot of countries don't put as much chemicals in their food as we do. You know what I mean? And a $14, oh my God, a $14 phone bill. Hey man, send your boy a ticket. I might be headed out there just to see. You know what I mean? I mess around and get out there and won't come back. But nah, man, that's crazy, man. Why we can't have that here? Why we can't have that here? It's possible to do here. We need to fix here. We shouldn't have to leave. We should be able to fix this right here so we can have that. There's too much greed here.
Is there evidence to support, like all the documentaries are saying right now, that Luigi Mangione was suffering a mental health crisis at the time of the events of the United Healthcare situation? Last night on my live, I had a couple of excellent ladies come on and discuss the issue and give their theories about why they think it's possible Luigi Mangione was suffering a mental health crisis. And while I don't personally subscribe to that belief, we did have a great discussion about it. You really missed out if you missed last night's live. But I want to say that during my rebuttal, when I was trying to explain to them why I thought their opinions were excellent, but were missing a major point, I got flagged by TikTok for violation of community standards. I can't even explain why. You would have to watch the live for yourself, and unfortunately, I can't replay that live. However, I did download it. I did put it on YouTube. You could watch the live in its entirety off of YouTube right now if you would like to see what was said. And also, I've made a special video response called Devil's Advocates Unleashed, where I can talk very bluntly about the things that I was not allowed to say on TikTok. Now, I understand why TikTok did it. I'm not holding them responsible or blaming them too much. I get why they don't want those topics talked about. But to me, it was an honest discussion. It was where the conversation went. There's nothing wrong in America with us having these discussions. Unfortunately, if you want to see the unedited version of what we talked about that night, the questions that were raised, and the topic that TikTok wouldn't let me talk about, you'll have to check out our YouTube channel.
I have this wild theory that the Supreme Court is banning TikTok, and when becomes president, he is going to like tell his little minions within the Supreme Court to be like, bring it back and make me look amazing, like make me look like a hero, like because he appointed so many of the people on the Supreme Court, right? So like if he has so much power, it's disgusting. I just feel like, I know it's a conspiracy theory, but like it's a plausible one. So I don't think this is the end of TikTok also. So like, don't cry and be so sad. I have this wild theory.
I don't know. I've been holding out hope for the longest, but it's done slowly faded away, especially with the Supreme Court ruling. So at this point, I'm like, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen. You know what I mean? I had that same theory that Trump may get into office and then he's able to do something that Biden wasn't. Maybe, but that's I ain't got too much hope left in me, fam. I don't. I think it's over for this app, bro. And we gotta find us a new home. We kind of like some orphans out here right now, bro. We straight up homeless.
Dude, okay. Just got out of meeting with our accountant tax person. So we're moving out of the country. We live in Utah. We are planning on selling my husband's businesses and selling all of our stuff and moving to Costa Rica. We're doing it. The plan is to be out of here by July. So we've got 6 months to get everything done. Just so you know, moving out of the country is no joke. There's a lot of stuff to do, but I'm here for it. And everything is figure outable. So let's go, I say. So this is the thing I wanted to share. This is crazy. I did not know this. So when we moved to Costa Rica, because we were born a U.S. citizen, we will have to continue to pay taxes in the U.S. It doesn't matter if we live in Costa Rica somewhere else or not. So forever till we die, we have to fill out forms and pay taxes to the U.S. Okay, that's crazy. So apparently we are the U.S.'s until we die. Okay, what? That seems wrong. Anyway, not only that, guess who else is the U.S.'s until they die? Our kids. Because our kids were born in the U.S., even though they're young and little right now, when they start making money in Costa Rica, they have to file forms and pay taxes in the United States because they were born here. Wait, what? So, yeah. That just seems crazy to me. I'm like, that is so wrong. What? I used to think America was this like amazing country. Like, wow, I want to live in America. This is so amazing. And the more I'm learning about it, I'm learning even more as I'm like having to figure out what it would be like to move to a different place, that they still own me and they own my children who will never work a day in the U.S. in their life. And yet they're still paying their money to the U.S. Anyway. Something I wouldn't have known unless I was moving. So I was just going to share that with you. That's a little bit crazy. Dude.
It's kind of like the older you get, the more you look at your parents and look at them and just be like, why? Why did y'all have me here? What was y'all thinking? Matter of fact, you wasn't thinking. You got to talk to them like you're their parents, and at this point, because what was they thinking having me here, bro? Huh? Y'all didn't want me to be successful. It's almost like the U.S. is like a huge pyramid scheme, or better yet, they're the mob or the mafia, and they're just constantly taxing you. And hey, man, you want protection? You got to pay this tax. You want to keep your business going here? You got to pay this tax. All right? You want to be able to walk down the street, nobody bother you? Got to pay this tax. Like it feels like they're the mob. Everybody they painted out to be the mob, they left one person themselves. The government. This is insane. You decide to say, you know what? I'm packing up and I'm leaving. Where are you going? I'm going out the country. That's cool. As long as that check clear. What?
When they look in this well, they either see their past lives of a life they lived before, or they see their dead relatives. I'm gonna show you. But in China, there's like a huge lineup, like all of these different people, and you can see them when they're there. Like some of them are crying. Some of them they're sobbing, fam, because they see their dead relatives, like straight up. So what it is, it's supposed to be a well, and at the bottom there's obviously water. Okay. In the reflection, you're supposed to see the relative or your past life.
Is it close to like a church? Is it like supposed to be spiritual?
I think it's said to be sacred. Look, check this out.
Let me see. I want to see people crying.
So there's all these monks that come there, right? Oh, look, you can hear them crying.
That's so scary, dog.
Yeah, and they look inside and they can see it.
That's wild. That's scary.
So how about we go to China and check it out?
Yo, I'm actually...
But would you want to see your past life?
I wouldn't want to see that, fam.
Because what if you know what would be crazy? This is where it's ready. Okay. What if you look in, and then your past life is like...
Watch this. Comes down, there's a freaking alien. Right there. Look at the orb. See the orb right under it? Watch, keep watching. Look at it, it's still there. What is that? What is that underneath there? What the?
Ketchup is a favorite around the world. Look at these two bottles. They seem pretty similar. You got the one from the UK over here and the US one over here. Just some differences in the packaging. But wait until you see what's also different with their ingredient list. Check out the differences here. So for the UK bottle of Heinz ketchup, there are about 6 ingredients, all recognizable, but that's not the same for the classic US one. Take a look at how much longer this thing is. There are 3 added ingredients in the US version. See this right here? High fructose.
I know I shouldn't have put that ketchup on them fries today. I knew better. I did. I knew better, and I still did it. So it's only my fault. It's my fault. I shouldn't have did it. That's crazy, bro. It don't take that much to make ketchup. It don't. They use 6. We use look like 26 or something. I don't know, man. It don't take that though.
Fructose corn syrup, and natural flavoring. Those ingredients have raised some controversy the past few years. For example, the Environmental Working Group says natural flavoring, natural, it's not actually that. It's pretty deceiving. To be clear, they're not saying that ketchup is bad for you, but they say it's an example of not always knowing what you're getting. According to EWG, they say natural flavoring can contain mixtures of more than 100 chemicals. Heinz does not list exactly what natural flavorings are. They just say it's a mix of spices. Now today, there are more than 10,000 chemicals and additives allowed in food in the United States, often in small amounts. But they haven't evaluated all of them at the FDA in decades. Doctors say the majority are safe, but some chemicals allowed here have been banned overseas after being linked to cancer and developmental or behavioral issues.
We need to put the F back into the Food and Drug Administration.
She's a congresswoman from Chicago who introduced a bill requiring the FDA to review certain chemicals banned overseas. If it passes, it would close what's known as the GRAS loophole, chemicals generally recognized as safe. She says this allows companies to skip an extensive safety review when adding many chemicals to food. Ketchup is a favorite around the world.
I don't know, man. I think I'm about to start growing some food. You know what I mean? Something in the backyard and figure it out, man. Because this is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. If you want to be around to see your grandkids or your kids grow up and be successful and live their lives, and you want to be around and present for a lot of that stuff, bro, we got to cut out a lot of things we eating. This don't make no sense. It's almost like they after us. It's like it's intentional. It's what it feels like.
What in the world are we going to do about alcohol? Because at this point, I am utterly confused. On the one hand, you've got the World Health Organization telling us that all booze is dangerous. There is no safe amount. But now you've got also the U.S. Surgeon General putting a cancer warning label on alcohol, on all of it. Right there on the bottle, right there on the can, cancer. The message, just one drink a day and your chances of cancer go up. Okay, but what's the research say? Well, we just got a dignified new report this very month from the U.S. National Academies of Science, Engineering, and Medicine. And guess what? Yes, they found a cancer risk, but they also found that drinking a moderate amount of alcohol actually lowers your risk of dying. So there's like a not dying benefit compared to not drinking at all. Huh. So what I think this means generally is that America continues to be absolutely, totally confused when it comes to alcohol. And by the way, this has always been the case. The country was founded by absolute, total luscious. This is a real bar tab, by the way, from the founding fathers. 55 people, George Washington among them. One night in mid-September 1787, a heady time, they were working on the Constitution. They had 60 bottles of claret, 54 bottles of Madeira, 22 bottles of porter, 12 bottles of beer, and 8 bottles of whiskey. Oh, and for good measure, 7 large bowls of punch. That's just 55 people, folks.
Is that real?
That's real. That's a genuine bar tab from the founding fathers. And then that country that they founded decided at one point, not too long ago, to update the Constitution they wrote and ban alcohol entirely, but then repeal it, and then put age limits on drinking, but then change the age limits, and now maybe a cancer warning label? Alcohol and human beings have been working together to great benefit for at least 10,000 years, but we would have figured out at this point, is it good or is it bad, terrible or great, or somewhere in between? I'm so confused. What in the world are...
I mean, at this point, you might as well just, put the dartboard on the wall, blindfold me, and let me throw it and see if I can just hit a bullseye of what I can have. You know what I mean? Like, just at this point, because yes, it'll cause this, but if you drink a little bit of it, it might decrease your chances of dying. So you're like, what do you choose here? Huh? Whoever's controlling our simulation right now is just, they playing a sick game. This is a sick game. And I know they just laughing at us because we're sitting down here in the actual simulation trying to figure things out and just looking crazy, and they just laughing at us. They laughing at us, bro. This gotta be a simulation.
Say that I consider the hearing today my last act of service as a public servant for the United States of America. I was an intel professional for our country for many years, and I would give recommendations, and I'd also look at indications and warnings. So I would offer this to the American people as my warning to them. Since this is a warning to the American people, I say, I personally have no confidence that the FBI will rein in its own conduct. I've been persecuted along with Garrett, Steve and Kyle, and countless other whistleblowers. It is my opinion that the Bureau used reprisal and fear to control the workforce. It has been a seemingly effective tactic. I personally believe that there are no current effective checks and balances against them conducting lawless action with any type of correction in a legitimate time frame. Their ability to overclassify information can allow them to stonewall forever. Arm yourself and know how to defend yourself. Make 3 to 4 friends in your neighborhood and promise to come to each other's mutual aid in times of hardship. And during the Great Depression, people stocked up a pantry. So I think that's a good practice, especially in our economic times, and make sure you have 3 to 4 months of food. And as a person of faith, I'd say pray the rosary, go to the First Friday devotions, that's for everybody, and read the gospel of our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, and live it every day.
You know, I've done a lot in my life, but this is definitely some of the hardest work I've done, and it really has made a difference in my life. So I really appreciate the opportunity to, you know, not be in prison and be out and changing lives and saving lives and camaraderie with my crew, and I really appreciate this. Yeah.
Bro, I was hearing about this flood going on, this Brazilian flood. I was hearing about that, bro. Y'all heard about that? Like, yo, it's not just us. Everybody's suffering right now.
A água está quase no pescoço, então Defesa Civil, Corpo de Bombeiros, Prefeitura, FACE, estão tudo aqui resgatando, mas quem tiver barco, a gente solicita ajuda aqui.
Okay, MK Ultra mind control methods or whatever. They try these on chosen ones all the time, or just psychic readers, anyone that they feel is exposing what they're doing. They've done this on a lot of millions of people for forever, and they're doing it with us now, basically just keeping us in illusion that we're like not in a simulation right now. But that's another story. So MK Ultra, usually how it feels is it's an aching pain like in the back of your neck. Like for me, it was like kind of up the top of my spine, up into like my scalp, right up at the base of it. And it was an aching pain, and it was just like I couldn't get it to stop. The massage just didn't work, and my guides were finally trying to tell me that that's what they were trying to do. And so I was freaked out at first, and this is when I was kind of going through my dark night, so I was in a very low vibration, and I basically, like, it hurt so bad and I didn't know what to do. And then now I feel like they're doing it again, and so it's not as bad. But what has worked for me in the past, and what I've been told by my guides and shown, and with the help of this shaman, is methods the same as protecting yourself from witchcraft, because the intention's there. Okay, now if you're in a lower vibration, it's going to affect you, and it's going to be harder for you to get that pain away. So raising your vibration, taking salt baths, doing all of these methods I've talked about in the past are going to help you. And the biggest thing that's going to help you is working on your root chakra, which is getting outside, getting into nature, get in the water, get your feet on the ground, like do a bunch of root chakra work. And then again, when you're grounded, they can't have much control over you. Remember, we're celestial beings, okay? So with that said, methods I've used that really work are banishing oil, which I ordered on Amazon, but you can also get it from like other specialists that, you know, deal with people who do spell work. But there's, you know, spell work's not bad. I'm afraid to do it, to be honest with you. And I'm told that I'm actually a past life very powerful witch. I was like a good witch, like a green witch, like herbs and stuff. But I'm still like, I don't want it coming back to me. So I'll wait on that. But protection stuff is basically devil shoestring. Remember, it confuses the devil.
Listen, I ain't trying to tell nobody what to do or nothing like that, but be careful what you buy and invite into your home. Your home is your sanctuary, place of peace. So anything you bring from the outside can potentially disturb that peace, if you get what I'm saying. So be careful of what you invite and you open your door and let inside your home. Be careful. Be careful.
Banishing oil, Florida water, holy water, anything that you can use as protection, just put it on that area or like on your scalp, and then just take a salt bath, you know, and then it will eventually go away. They can't, the higher your vibration is, they can't get you, if that makes sense, okay? And just focus on that I am surrounded by a white light of protection and nothing can penetrate my
2024 was the hottest year on record, beating out 2023. And depending on which international scientific organization you're speaking to, it was also the first time that the average global temperature was 1.5 degrees Celsius above pre-industrial levels. It's a big deal. We've never crossed that point before. Now, this is all happening at a really tragic time when devastating wildfires are pounding California, fires that still haven't been contained. And there's a connection between climate change and wildfire. Mainly as the atmosphere warms, that creates drier conditions, it leads to more wildfire-prone weather, and can also increase the length of wildfire season. In fact, it's safe to say there isn't even a season anymore. Wildfires really are occurring far more frequently today due to human-caused climate change. Look at what happened with the LA wildfires. The city had not received measurable rain since last spring. This had created incredibly dry conditions. Researchers from UCLA actually published analysis last week that showed, due to climate change, vegetation was 25% drier. That vegetation, that super dry kindling, was perfect fuel to help increase and intensify the fires. It's hard to say for certain at this moment how much climate change really made the LA fires worse, but I guarantee you there's scientists on the ground right now doing the work, putting together the data and the scientific research to produce this attribution studies, and I'm sure in the next couple of months we'll be seeing a lot more headlines about how human-caused climate change affected those LA wildfires.
Can I say I'm very convinced that Jake Barber is a former top Tier 1 military personnel. He's served at the highest levels of the US military, the US Air Force. His service is corroborated by 3 people on the program, and 2 of his colleagues who've worked with him on what he euphemistically refers to as the range where these objects were recovered, are backing his story. And they are also former Tier 1 operatives, the very highest elite of the US military. We've been able to confirm Mr. Barber's service with him. We've been with him when he's gone to give evidence to the Senate Select Committee for Intelligence, and we've been watching over his shoulder as he's also briefed ARROW, the Pentagon's UFO office. And it's quite clear everyone's taking his information very seriously. The big question is anybody going to do anything about it?
What's an HI?
You want to take that question? NHI stands for non-human intelligence. It's basically, Chris, the vernacular that's used now to describe something that is not of human origin, basically a biological specimen or a technology that's created by something that is intelligent but is not human.
What do you make of that, Lou?
Well, you know, look, if this turns out to be legitimate, then you're talking about a story that's probably even bigger than the 2017 story the New York Times broke when I first came out and some of my colleagues. This is a Tier 1 operator. So think of the best of the best, people who've been psychologically evaluated on a regular and continuing basis. They have top secret security clearances. They take drug tests, polygraph examinations, and they are really America's best of the best. They're our finest operators in special operations. So whenever anything bad goes down, these are the folks that you call to go and fix it. And so when you have someone of his caliber coming out to have this conversation with the American people, that says a lot. People better be paying attention. If it turns out what he's saying is legitimate, this is going to be perhaps one of the biggest stories, frankly, over the last 50 years, perhaps.
And the question that keeps ringing out in the back of my mind is why now? Why now? Why now? You know what I mean? Don't get me wrong. I like the fact that it's now. I wish it would have happened sooner, but it didn't. But we're here now. But it still keeps, I don't know why I can't shake it. So what's about to happen? What do they know? What information do they have of what's to come?
Ross, what are the questions for you after what we'll learn in the special tomorrow night?
Look, the simple fact is that there is a problem, Chris. The Pentagon is consistently trying to evade answering questions on this subject. They've told us that they have confirmed that Jacob Barber's claims have been made, that they're aware of the claims, but they're maintaining their persistent claim that there is no evidence of any programs regarding the possession of reverse engineering of extraterrestrial materials. And I can tell you, Mr. Barber has overwhelming evidence. That evidence was provided originally to Dr. Sean Kirkpatrick by a member of his team, including imagery. And for some reason, that imagery and other data disappeared when the new ARRO director, the new Pentagon UFO boss, tried to investigate this material. He couldn't find it anywhere in the Pentagon's UFO office. It would appear someone had lost it. And I think what's going on here is the ARRO, the Pentagon's UFO office, is being used as a foil. It's basically being used by the Defense Department to try to fob off any further public transparency. And frankly, I think we're now on a slippery slope because Mr. Barber, as a whistleblower, is just the beginning. There are many more in the sidelines.
Lou, weren't you one of the guys that used to make that stuff disappear so the rest of us couldn't find out about it?
I mean, yeah, Chris, I was at a time one of those guys. You know, some people have accused me of being one of the men in black. I prefer to be referred to now as one of the men in white, trying to bring transparency and some information into the public eye. Ross has done an incredible job with this. By the way, he's been sitting on this now for almost a year and a half, if I'm not mistaken, Ross. And I know individuals that I personally am aware of that I'm friends with that are also former special operations operatives that were helping in the security of this individual because, like many of us, he feared for his life because of the information that he had is so explosive. Think about this for a second. Surprise, surprise. Sean Kirkpatrick, the former ARRO director, saying, well, you know, yeah, someone may have talked to us, but we don't have any more of the evidence that was supplied to us. The new ARRO director, I think, is taking this topic very seriously. Frankly, I'm very optimistic that maybe we'll get somewhere with this new director. But the last director had showed himself over and over again, frankly, in my opinion, to not be very truthful to the American people and to Congress. And so now we have this whistleblower coming out, and you're going to see, I guess, in video of him actually going and reporting this information to key figures in our government.